I remember that.
Hey guys, welcome to another My Hero Academia manga stream for Sundays. I'm here with Mark.
What's up?
We're covering the new chapter, which is chapter 341. We got an interesting setup with Mark right now. We're actually, and this is kind of a shout out to Xbox actually, we're actually like speaking through Xbox Party Chat for me, like on Windows, and for Mark just simply through Xbox, right?
Please sponsor.
Please sponsor. Buy us. Buy us out.
Please.
Let us become part of this unit. But I'm actually very impressed by that, because it really is, like, aside from just like the change in like mic input, it's the same dynamic as how we connect to each other on Discord. So shout outs. Actually, I'm even using my same like gear just to speak to Mark, and having the output to the headphones and everything. It's great. But Mark, there's something that we always do before each new manga chapter stream, or just coverage of the new chapter, and what would that be?
Recap episode.
Yes, this is the new. Well, at least sorry, we're covering chapter 340, first and foremost, where if I recall correctly, this is where like All Might just goes crazy on like the whiteboard, right, or chalk board. Because essentially,
Just like, you're gonna go this way. You're gonna go that way.
yeah, essentially Hawks gets together like a very small team to kind of like discuss what's obviously something that no one else should hear about: the plans of how they want to attack this united front of like the Paranormal Liberation Front and just the League of Villains, just generally speaking. We had a good small like handful of like the police force, Hawks, All Might, let's see, what was the name? Ragdoll. Of course, like Ragdoll right now can't really do much like with powers per se, but she's definitely been working behind.
I got them now.
Yeah, but she can definitely be of use, like just like being, she could be the guy in the chair.
Girl in the chair with the really big hands.
No, like actually really big hands. Like that's not part of the quirk. That's just simply like a physical thing.
It's like, why are her hands so big?
Because you gotta paw things with those. But, you know, now she just paws like the keyboard. Click, clack, click, clack.
And faces.
And
Dude, imagine getting smacked. Oh,
it's a lot of, that's a lot of like surface area right there. Axe is saying hello. Shout out to Axe for jumping in for stream. Right now we're doing coverage for the My Hero chapter that just came out today. And then
always tune in for these.
Not always, but this has been more recent stuff, so we appreciate you coming on board. If you don't want spoilers though, then feel free to just hop out if you don't want to.
But if you want all the spoilers, feel free to stay.
Yeah. Jump right in, grab a seat.
Come on in, the water's fine.
Hey buddy, I warmed it up for you. Dad, Patrick, get out of the house and put some clothes on. And then Spoonroll comes in. Something wrong, buddy? Oh, I knew it.
So this is why I find my best friend and my ex-best friend and rubber bath toys.
Good memory on that.
I have a really good memory when it comes to entertainment.
Oh yeah, Axe is saying sorry. I actually don't really want spoilers, so I'll just head out. Okay, that's totally understandable because this.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Yeah, understandable. Have a nice day. So we're gonna immediately jump into more spoiler talks because we're just covering just like things ahead of time. But this is where we get the crazy animation of like All Might like hitting up that like chalkboard and just kind of like talking about like how they want plans to separate All for Shiggy and All for One's like main body. They have to keep it at a certain like radius from each other in order for their connection to be severed.
Also, they also confirmed that she's stronger than All for One.
Yes, for sure. Especially based on just like the fight, like definitely with Star, getting as much like data from that as possible, they were able to come to that conclusion that yeah, he's recovering.
He's stronger.
Yeah, he's like ridiculously stronger. It's just a sense acquiring that whole quirk. Let's see, what else do they want to talk about? They talked a little bit about Aoyama We don't have much like idea of like what's going on there quite yet. But it does cut over to the fact that like Aizawa's kind of been taking care of the quote unquote interrogation part of that. Pretty much telling Aoyama like, hey, listen, in reality, you don't really have a place in UA anymore. But we
I'm gonna
still
do my
out.
best to help you out here. But in the end of it, all you're gonna have to do, your only option really, is fight.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of everything we can get out of it. But despite all of that, he was able to. Aizawa was able to get his own like bit of like inspiration into him, and we just are left with a slightly more determined look from Aoyama for the future. As we cut to the last couple of panels, pretty much the prep time of like who's going to be involved in different operations here. As we get,
Shinzo!
we get a shot of Shinzo going doing the full Spidey hang from a tree.
So many people actually love Shinzo. It's nice.
It's really nice because it really is one of those things where like it's just due to circumstances that he's not like part of the hero class in the first place. But after like further review,
Might be a free spot in there now. I feel I'm safe.
you know, I thought that the free spot would have been from Deku, but look how the tables have turned. Turns out
My the turns table.
this so interesting. And you know, I mean, I get it. Like, I'm glad that they had like the initial like reintroduction of Shinzo way back in the little what was it, joint like training program that they got going on. And after that, we haven't really seen him for like a while, so I'm glad that he's been using this time to just kind of like get like a whole like adjustment to his drip, and also just continue training. So
I think what they're doing with Shinzo is fantastic.
So with that in mind, that's all we had from chapter 340, and we will go ahead and get started with chapter 341. And the front cover, I gotta tell you, it's just Toga, right?
Do you see what I meant by dark shoddy?
It's a shorty, but it's a darky.
Shorty, but a darky, just like Toga.
Mm-hmm. I want to give like special shout outs to like this front panel, because not only is it showing like Toga for the first time in a while, but it's also showing those very specific flowers that we see a lot these days. I've been seeing like these flowers in both like, well, just in all forms of like Japanese culture nowadays. These are called, they're called red spider lilies.
Red spider. Oh, that makes sense with her.
I was looking at it prior to us like starting up, but I didn't really get too far. Apparently the bulbs of these things are actually pretty poisonous.
That makes sense with her. I mean, red because of blood and poison because you know she's deadly.
And apparently these things are grown around, you know, rice paddies and houses to keep pests and mice away, essentially.
Why did they grow them around the food?
It's probably like a fair safe distance away. They just want to make sure that like no one tries to like crawl in between, you know.
I was like, doesn't that just sound counterintuitive? It's like, this will keep the crop safe, but it's also poisonous.
You know, it's also like counterintuitive is actually like looking at like one of the images following it, and it's like a little girl with like a handful of them, and she's like walking across like a field of them.
You're just like,
huh?
Something's wrong here.
Huh?
Huh?
I'm trying to also look at like what they're mainly used for. They're usually associated with death as one thing, and that can pretty much be kind of the big thing about it. My thing is that like these flowers also appeared in Scarlet Nexus as well, a lot.
I saw that a lot in Scarlet Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think we're there more for the color more than anything. Because they're scarlet colored.
I'll read this quick excerpt. This is all from Wiki, but it says that some legends have it that when you see someone that you may never meet again, these flowers, also known as red spider lilies or corpse flowers, would bloom along the path. So I was like, damn, dude. Well, they are definitely just kind of eerie in shape. Like, they're not your average looking flower, that's for sure. But when paired up with Toga in her past, all things
Very
considered,
fair.
yeah. So
It's a fair comparison.
mm-hmm.
You are gonna feel bad for her though when you see these next couple panels.
Okay, So I will go ahead and start off. We got very little text here for the first 2 pages, but we got like these beautiful but dark spreads of panels. We have just a house. There's words of
Covered in graffiti.
just graffiti along the brick walls here. Um, big bold like font. Demon, die, Toga the Terrible. Getting very like specific.
Surrender.
Each panel having more text like spread off. Get lost. Your fault for having her. Let's see. Is that like Vampire Demon's Lair?
Bloodthirsty.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's bloodthirsty killer.
Probably. Looks like we're going inside a building. Like a red slash against red marks of a cross across this door right next to it.
Like, where they seal up a house.
Oh yes, okay. Right next to it, just words scum family. I love how they draw the panels down here. It shows like Toga like taking steps in. Actually, no, that's a full panel. My bad. It's just about the framing of things. But she enters into this house.
There's trash everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Probably just like the remnants of something that's been evacuated, or something to be let on a little bit later.
Someone threw shit inside.
Yeah. Anyway, we get
Who's playing tic-tac-toe?
we're getting some yeah, I see that. But let me read a little bit of text here that they have here. We did our best, but nothing worked. The girl is demonic. As we cut to a bigger like panel of Toga now looking inside this vacant room. You see words here saying you'll pay, tic-tac-toe, killer.
Shit.
Like an actual piece of shit. Just outlined.
There's drew a thing of poop.
Someone drew a thing of poop, yeah. Toga just looking around. She goes around a corner. I'm trying to see. Oh, yeah, it's Himiko, age 3. Himiko, age 2. It's probably just like drawing her height.
Yeah, they were taking her height. She's growing up.
She walks through the hallway. Words just kind of echo. Just stop it already. Next page. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just got a glimpse of other panels here. But it looks like we got like some text that's kind of like playing probably in the back of her head saying no one will accept you ever the way you are. As we see like the end of the hallway, a stairway like upward, but the words like at the end of the hallway just say you'll pay.
Like it's like even you'll pay on the side.
Oh, I'm sorry, you were kind of cutting out.
There's on the side you'll pay.
Oh, you're still really cutting out. It's kind of intense. You're starting to sound a little bit like Kristoff real quick. It almost sounds like yeah. It's like your natural language, like through the connection through Xbox Party Chat right now. But
it was going to
let me continue with the text here. You can't just live as you please all the time. Nobody can. Himiko's face too scary. She goes up the stairway. More text kind of pops up. Be judged. Pay with your lives. Demon's room. Just restrain yourself just once as she opens the door. Creak into like a very vacant room. There's one big word text in black, idiot, and right below it is kind of something you would have made out of Photoshop, but it's like lightly drawn in.
Was made in Photoshop.
Vampire.
It probably was made in Photoshop.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. Anyway,
maybe that's what it is, because I see see it in Japanese, a word in Japanese like on the left side of the door.
Yes.
I don't know if Vampire translates that.
Unfortunately, we don't have any like translation for that, so someone had to like look into that.
Yeah, that's why I like to have editors do that stuff.
I think there's a little bit of that like on the right hand side too, like of that door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the text still continues. We're telling you this for your own good. You just have like a single panel of just like Toga's just like looking out, and we just look to her perspective. We see a vampire demon again, on the other side of the room with like a window that's absolutely like blasted open. But in the past, we get a little glimpse panel of like what it originally looked like. That's where like her bed was. We hear some text, probably from Toga herself back then. Wanna be a little birdie. Chirp, chirp, tweet, tweet. So cute. Wanna be Kay. As she like her, like in the past, like in her bed, she bites into her hand. Nah. Those dimples when she smiles, so lovely. Now you actually see a little bit of blood kind of coming out. Every night I dream of a dancing red sparrow. It does a tap dance on my tummy.
That's how it works.
Yeah, like yeah, the way they illustrate it, like it almost like is that actually like are the talons actually kind of piercing her too?
Yeah, her
Oh,
her fangs.
oh, okay. Because literally oh my god, the next panel is actually kind of gruesome. We get the shot of the flowers again in the background, but I think yeah, we just see like a bloody like surface, probably either her palm right now or even the tummy. Actually, it just says right there. Sooner or later,
It rips my tummy open
and dances
inside me.
It dances a jig inside me. It stains me red all over, making me oh so cute. Such a pleasant dream. Such a pleasant dream. It makes me so happy. We immediately cut back into like where she is. She's standing right where her bed would have been. We see Vampire Demon again on the right hand side. As she just thinks out loud, throw it all away, referring to the bed.
I never knew you actually had a heart in that job.
What was that?
That's what Bobby says. He said, I never knew you actually had a heart in that job.
So at that point she's already yeah, at that point actually I kind of want to analyze that like panel real quick because she has like a smile on her face, but it seems like when you don't show the eyes, the smile is a little less like obvious, so it looks like it might be shifting just like a touch. But in any case she leaves the home at that point. She walks off. And that's when you'll hear like the words of Dobby from the distance with a panel of him just showing himself. He's got his white hair on this time. But yeah, he does say, never knew you actually had a heart nut job. But even you can get caught up in emotion, huh? And she replies, I was just curious about my old house, that's all. Totally normal. Ha! You sure you're ready for what's coming? Oh my god. Look at all oh okay. Let me just like take it one panel at a time. Anyway, Toga just saying, and what might that be? Oh, I mean, us putting an end to this rotten world. A little late to ask that now. Good. As he reaches out for his hand, whether we're crying or smiling, the sun will come out tomorrow. So I say, let's smile, Himiko Toga. As he said, it blazes probably that same house. Smiling. Smiling is why we live our lives. You get us caught, Toya. But that was awfully kind of you. Caught?
Oh, your house.
I mean, hell, I mean, she got to look at it one last time, so I guess it's okay. Caught? Society don't got the juice to take us down right now. The juice. Interesting how he like kind of falls out of the building, but obviously that's all intentional. Oh, what the? Mark, you still there? Uh-oh. Oh no. I think we lost connection. That was weird. Okay, I'm gonna open up the game bar again. Yeah, that was interesting. Here, I'll go ahead and add him back and see if he'll respond. We were having a little bit of a shoddy like connection, so yeah. Yeah, this is the first time we're actually trying this alternative because Mark's phone's currently not working, so we're using his Xbox as the alternative. Hello, Mark? Sorry, Mark, we lost connection for you for a little bit, but glad we're reconnecting. We're connecting Kingdom Hearts status. Don't worry, I found you. I literally abridged the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 process. It made my way to you.
This big bombshell.
You're still kind of cutting off like with each like bit of like seconds like in your dialogue, but I still hear you, so it's good.
I said big bombshell to hit.
Oh, okay, got you. Big bombshell, got you. But what was I? Oh yeah, Dad was saying, "God, society don't got the juice to take us down right now." And it's not just the kindness as he falls over. There's so much as me twisting the knife and endeavor some more. Toga pops some.
She's like real bad.
Toga pops something out of like her utility strap, I guess. It just says, "Bloop." You'll be able to use it, you know. Dobby says. Cuts over. When you transform, if the person close to your heart, I'm sorry, let me reread that. When you transform, as he lands, if the person's
he's the fight pushing his bull.
Yes, if the person's someone that's close to your heart, you'll be able to use their quirk by drinking their blood. Cuts to like a really quick flashback of like Uraraka's quirk use. He points out he points out to Toga, before Makia whisks us away, I made sure to grab the original's body's blood. We have this full spread of Toga looking at the blood vial. Twice his blood, that is. That's kind of intense. But he carries on. We'll help that sad parade to keep marching. And the ones having the last laugh, that'll be us.
Speaking of which, Happy's birthday was just recently too.
My God, dude. You know, for a hot second, I kind of forgot about Twice being dead.
Right. Did you know that it was recent?
Yeah, but I mean, good on Dobby for like grabbing that.
Right. Share birthday.
Sorry, Mark, you're really cutting off now.
Hey.
Ika Polka. I'll just carry along here. We have a shot of the valley here. Pretty much the all for one little den here. As we have Spinner, one of the dudes from the Liberation Front, all for one, as they all take notice of something through the hallways. Something's moving. Spinner investigates. Shigaragi? You good? And we see, oh my God, we have a mutated looking, like, I don't even know what that is. That's just a mass. Uh-oh. That was Mark. Oh no, Mark. Okay, so remember what I said about props to Xbox for integrating their party chat into this and just being really reliable? So I'll just continue reading these panels. We have now Spinner just looking out. He's like, yeah, he sees like that mass and he's like, oh my God, what the fuck? As that mass like resurges back, and we just have like just a singular shot like all for Shiggy here, as he's just trying to like grasp some air. He's just like oh what, hold on, We should probably get game bar open up again. Yeah, I'll try one more time. And I'll still keep reading. All for one walks up behind Spinner and says, "Worry not. Tomura is recovering well as he conquers the quirk Doomsday theory." Wait, he's still Shigaraki? Why, yes, of course. The dude from Liberation Front, Spinner. I'm pretty sure you know. What proportion of villain-designated criminals are heteromorphs? Right, I guess he would. Yeah, because he is part of the Liberation Front. They do like read into that theory. He continues on. No matter how hard the heroes and the government have tried to illuminate our society, the light can't reach every dark corner. Plenty of heteromorphs hold deep grudges against the so-called heroes. We who remain have. That's weird. We who remain have paid the way. I think that was the translation error. Well, it's literally two halves. We remain who have paid the way. When the League of Villains was starting out, the world was exposed to your look, your form.
You mean turtle heads?
It began with wannabes copying your costume, but now you're a guiding light for heteromorphs everywhere. As if I'm a big messiah. Yeah, right. I'm out here just serving. I'm not out here serving some great cause. I'm only here for. But the die is already cast. There's no going back. The escaped convicts are one matter, but the common rioters in the streets await your lead. Though Redastro can no longer pull the trigger, you can. Pulls out like
he was arrested.
Yeah, he was. What is that he's pulling out and giving out to Spinner?
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a data drive or something.
Oh, you mean? Oh no, it's dark chocolate, obviously.
It's dark chocolate, clearly.
It's not, you're not you. You're over here when you're hungry.
Here, have a Snickers.
Spinner eats it. But he turns back to human, but it's like so disserviceable in comparison to like when that one time they made Grim into a full flesh body dude, but it's not like making it any sense.
I'm a poor guy.
No matter how of an average dude like me feels about it, we're past the point of no return here, huh? We what's this? Oh yeah, All for One continues. The first step, solid step from you, will give them the necessary courage. And I think this is all for Shiggy speaking. Bring it all down. Just get a little bit more narrative, probably from Spinner's perspective. No more thinking it over. I'm only here for your sake, Shigaraki. Damn, dude, he's a real homie.
He said, bro, I'm only here because I'm your homie, dude. That's it.
Oh, next page is a huge spread panel. Pretty much no moves, just Liberation Front, just different quirks, just like a.
Hey, it's a slime monster.
It is the slime. Actually, yeah, it's been a hot minute. To be continued, says. We have a shot of like All for One just waiting for what Spinner's going to do. Let's see. Interesting. I'm just kind of reading what the following text is going to say. It says, "Know this, Iguchi. Everyone can be somebody's hero." Damn. So it looks like it's just a communicator, essentially. Spinner's like holding it up to him. He's about to say something. But in between the sandwich of a panel spread is All for One a smaller bit, and like All for Shiggy down below. And that's the end of the chapter. So we got movement. We got movement. And honestly, yeah, like that first couple of pages was definitely a shocker, actually. Like I didn't know what to expect. I thought like, well, we haven't seen Toga in a while, and last time we saw Toga, she like literally darted off because like Uraka said a couple things to her. essentially, like, if she wants to continue on this path, she's gonna have to pay for everything that she's done so far. And for Toga to kind of return back to like where it kind of all began, essentially, kind of face that and just kind of reevaluate herself, essentially looking at everything. And honestly, I actually don't know exactly what her like full like takeaway was, but I guess she's kind of made amends for like where she is so far. So she was able to leave her home just knowing that like she hasn't changed, everything's been the same, and I'm just gonna still do what I'm gonna do. And then Dobby just lights the house on fire.
The
Meanwhile, I just have like I love the way you lie playing in the background. Just gonna
Love the way
stand
that-
and just have one little bit. Well, I'm gonna set this house on fire. Woof. Just gonna stand.
It's actually just Katy Perry's fire.
My God, it takes a different form for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm out of words here. But it's crazy because we're now paying more closer attention to like our league this time, and it just despite all circumstances, they used to follow Shigaraki. It was kind of rocky start at the first point, but they've all eventually respected Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is still relatively there. He is fighting All For One right now, still, in a way.
True.
But they all still kind of follow him regardless. But the whole thing about like twice his blood, that's already that's a huge problem.
It's a big problem.
But on the flip side, that's probably a one-time use type of thing. Unless you like, I don't even know if they ever want to try doing this, but like replicate blood specifically for Toga. Like I don't know if you can even do that. Like even if they like were able to get the good doctor like out and just like work with that.
Replicating blood is a hard thing to do.
Yeah, so I mean like I don't think they would ever try to do that. That sounds like
I guess you could make synthetic blood, I suppose.
And who knows if that works with Toga the same way. But yeah, just the fact is that she is able to use twice as like blood and use the quirk is already a horrible combination, as we've already seen. Like that's the whole reason that Hawks actually did away with twice the way he did without even like going through the normal like process of like turning him in and everything like that. Nah, he killed him for this reason. Like, yo, you are the biggest problem. You need to be done. And I can't say 100% that I still support Hawks for doing that, because like Twice is actually a pretty good guy, all things considered. But yeah, he was really ultimately trying to prevent that, and Twice was not going to sway to a different side no matter what.
He's a very loyal man.
Yeah, but I also wonder because Twice had to go through that whole like psychological dilemma of just figuring out like who he is not like himself in other forms, and Toga might have to go through that too, unless they just kind of like sweep that on the rug. It's like no, she knows what to do. But it's still very scary no matter what, that she can make.
Oh, absolutely, it's terrifying.
She could make several clones, and that could just be a huge problem for the heroes, because it really is just like, I mean, we also know the fact that like Toga herself like is a threat, because like she has like crazy moves on her. Only those like Uraraka could really like deal with her, and that's just one of them. So we've got a bunch of like Twices that have that level of flexibility and can move around like that. That's terrible.
Absolute mess.
But man, dude, I mean, I know that deep down I kind of want Toga to be turned over to like a good side, but we may not ever see that, because it's just,
I would like to see that for her, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
yeah, it's one of those things where like I think the whole chapter with Uraraka like versus Toga kind of like sealed it, where like you just you have to pay for like everything like you go forward with here, and Toga just accepted that. Like I knew you'd say that, and she walks off. She did have a little bit. I mean, the tears kind of gave like a bit of reservations there too, or at least like a harsh understanding of what she's doing. Because deep down, like I guess like in a
She
way,
knows what she's doing is wrong.
yeah, but that's how she wants to live her life, regardless.
It's like the same thing with Dabi. I mean, I honestly think that I don't think Toya is irredeemable. He's done some horrible things, but I do not think he is necessarily at the point of no return just yet.
It takes a good bit of talk no jutsu. I understand that for sure, but
He's killed. That's for sure. He's killed a lot, but
mhm.
I still think some of the good side is still in him, deep down in there somewhere.
Probably because like one of the biggest things about like a lot of what makes these villains great is just simply because like they have like this backstory as to why they are here in the first place, and it's not something where it's like, you know, the baby next to me was crying so much that I really was just fueled by anger, and I became a super buff, powerful Super Saiyan. Nothing like that. But there's actually like something like really deep about like each of these characters like upbringings, and it's kind of like no matter how much they want to kind of like deviate from that path, no matter how much they want to like walk this path towards like evil, there's something that kind of like roots them and grounds them to like who they are. And I think just like under the right circumstances, you can like connect the dots all the way to that source and possibly like bring out a change in them. But for Toga, for example, no one, it kind of deals with like something about childhood, or even then like you need to like change their perspective about how they view things. Like I definitely thought of the scenarios too about like how you could change like Toga, as far as just like, you know, well, it's fine that you want to express yourself like in any way, but like the way you express it hurts people. So a lot of people just kind of like just said, stop, you can't do this, you're not right in the head, you have to correct yourself, instead of like understanding her. And I think even to this point, not even like Uraraka or Deku, well, especially not Deku, really understands that. They're not able to level with her, so all they could do is just like confront her like head on with their own beliefs, which greatly differ from hers. And that's kind of the same with Dabi too, because you know he feels like so betrayed by like
His
Endeavor.
father.
Yeah, and Endeavor is the only one who wants to like. He's been trying to work towards that, but now like it's already, the damage has been done, and Dabi only sees all this like workaround for Endeavor as just kind of like an insult to him already. Like you couldn't do that like beforehand, like.
He's like, really, really, you didn't know that's here.
Mm-hmm. And of course Spinner just deals with like discrimination, and you know he's surrounded by a lot of people now who just say like you can now like turn that tide, you can now lead a new world
You can
where
make mutants hot, bro.
bruh, we are the new X-Force, the new X-Men.
X-Force.
Although I think for Spinner, like yeah, he's not out of just to like change things. He already accepts the fact that like people are gonna look at him differently. And at this point, it's only really been Shigaraki that just kind of sees him equally and does not judge him for who he looks, or for who he is, or what he looks like. So he's already like on board just with whatever Shigaraki does, and we already know Shigaraki is kind of really stuck. It's gonna take a
Oh,
lot.
dude, he's so fucking stuck. It ain't even funny.
Mm-hmm. Like it'll take a lot to like change like Shigaraki at that point. Because assuming that Deku still wants to save him, that's gonna take like a good couple chapters and a direct confrontation. That's some like end game stuff too.
We're in the end game now.
Mm-hmm. So I guess with that, the next chapter 342, from my sources, just through Viz, it looks like we only like that's coming out in like 2 weeks instead of one. So in that case, the next time we adjourn. Oh my god, getting all these TikTok notifications. My bad, guys. Looks like we'll be coming back around the 6th actually of February. Actually, man, dude, we're almost done with the whole month of January already. But I think the next chapter, it might actually just shift over to like the villain side a little bit more. So, as much as I want to see,
This said part 1, so I imagine there'd be more.
Mhm. Actually, I didn't see that. I totally forgot to read the title chapter.
Oh, now we know.
Yeah, so it's actually like the chapter for this one was dubbed "The Story of How We All Became Heroes," part -1.
I believe because it's villains, it's minus.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we're so wait, what exactly where does it lie chronologically? I think it's more over just like how they're wording it instead of like actually think of it as numbers. So
Pretty much,
this,
they just meant to be like the way it's worded. It's not meant to be taken literally.
yeah, because they could have otherwise just said like the story of how we became villains, but it's kind of
Story of how they became the greatest villains.
yeah. I mean, like I actually kind of would dig that. Shouts to Dead Hamster for jumping in. Say the first thing they say, "Bus City."
Bussin'.
Easy.
We in here bussin'.
Not the chapter with Toga. No.
Oh no. Never mind, we ain't bustin'. Oh hell.
No. Spinner though.
Spin it. Making mutants. He's like, dude, dog, you're gonna make mutants hot.
But yeah, okay. I think that pretty much wraps it up. So yeah, I think it is possible that they might carry on with like the villains, or they could even just carry on with the heroes, and they would just keep it with this kind of title layout. But or they could try to even it out too with a part -2. So
Five minus dos.
-2. Yeah. All right. Last thing all I can say is that I really appreciate like the metaphor just using like the spider lilies. I'm just saying that a lot. I'm like it's starting to become a thing.
Well, this is popular.
It's starting to become popular. Oh no. Not the representation. But yeah. All right. I guess with that we should be good to go. So we will go ahead and call it here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been another My Hero Academia manga chapter read. This has been chapter 341. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And thanks for watching. # bye, everyone. Shouts to Dead Hamster. Shouts to Axe for jumping in real quick. And
Appreciate you.
yeah. All right. Take care, everyone. # bye.